Welcome back to Brunch with Brittany. Grab your drink, whatever it is, and let's start brunching. All right, so if you're that person who never uses your favorite things, okay, maybe it's lighting your favorite candle or wearing your favorite outfit, you're saving it for the right moment. This is the episode for you, okay? I am guilty of this. I have been guilty of this, but no longer. I am free. All right, so let's get into it. So, yes, if you're that person, like I said, never wearing your best clothes, never using your favorite perfume, right? Like, you know that scent makes you feel good, it makes you happy, but you're like, no, I'll save it for like when I'm really dressed up, or I'll save it for a special occasion, right? Maybe you're not using your beautiful plating when you're having dinner. You know, you're like, I'm gonna use a plastic while I'm eating. Unless I have someone over, then I'll take out the nice plates. Things like that. This could actually be a subtle sign that you are not doing well mentally, that you're not in a good place. And that's what that looks like. And you're thinking like, well, you know, I don't feel good. I'm not feeling my best, so I'm not going to use my best products. But that could actually be the reason why you're not feeling good, because you're not using your favorite products that make you feel good, right? So it's almost like this thing where you're causing it or you're prolonging that feeling and not even realizing it. Because how good do you feel when you spray that perfume on you and you go out smelling good? Maybe you'll get a compliment, right? Something you weren't expecting, and then it makes you feel better. It lifts your spirits up. And I have been guilty of, like, I would buy, same thing, a nice perfume, and I save it for special occasions, or a certain pair of heels. Wouldn't wear them. Sometimes I have stuff in my closet that I would not wear ever. Like, it would just sit with a tag on it, and I'd be like, for a certain occasion, right? Like when I go on a trip or something, or something happened and that trip never happened and the outfit stays in there. Or that outfit no longer fits you like it did, right? You took so much time that outfit doesn't even look the same on you. All of these things are really actually things that could be affecting your mental health and how you're feeling and going about your day. Even dressing nice, right? Like dressing up. Now, for me, it takes a lot of energy and time to put into it, but I always found that it's worth it. I don't know if you've noticed, but people, unfortunately, are kinder to you when you're dressed up, when you're dressed nice, when you look nice. I remember even one time I went to a restaurant, right? And I was dressed really nice. I was loving my outfit. I was wearing like a nice brunch dress. I had my hair done really well, my makeup. Like, I felt really good about myself. So I was waiting on a table, and I'm sitting out in like the waiting area, just, waiting for the table. And one of the management had walked by, right? An employee walked by. And he goes, he's like, where's your champagne glass? And I was like, I laugh like, no, you're right. I do need a champagne in my hand right now. So whatever. Okay, I go back into my phone. Wasn't even into my phone, but at some point I do remember picking it up. Anyways, so I'm just sitting there looking around. Next thing I know, the guy comes around the corner with a glass of champagne for me. Complimentary. Just was like, here you go. And literally, it was just because I look nice. And I was like, that's it? That's all it took. But it made me smile. It made me feel in a better mood, even though I was already in a good mood. But it's weird how the world will work more in your favor when you present yourself nicely versus had I went to that restaurant and I'm wearing, sandals and I'm wearing, cut out jean shorts, which there's a time and a place for that. Trust me, I have some in my closet. But when you're going to a nice restaurant, you're definitely going to want to be dressed up, dressed nicer, just because to me that's like better etiquette. But like I said, I don't know why, but people are nicer to you when you're dressed nicely. And then, it also opens up conversations. You're wearing a conversation piece. Like, this is one of my favorite outfits I've ever gotten myself. It's like, gives me Barbie vibes. It's pink. I mean, what girl doesn't love pink? As you can see, I'm pink on pink, okay? But yeah, so I wore this, I think it was actually when the Barbie movie came out. I specifically bought this outfit for the Barbie movie, and I went with a group of girls, and we had like one of the best nights, all dressed up, all in pink. And I was like, okay, I have not worn this outfit since, and I'm mad at myself for that because I'm like, why? It's cute. Reuse it, Even though I know we get kind of like, we can't get caught in the same outfit. We need to stop doing that to each other, ladies, okay? If something looks good, then we can rewear it, all right? Stop judging the girls for rewearing outfits. We have a lot sometimes, but sometimes stuff just looks good the way it looks good. Like going to the grocery store. Oh my goodness. I used to go to the grocery store, so I'm embarrassed to admit how badly dressed I would go. Not even just PJs, like close to bleach stained clothes, type of clothes to the grocery store. Not that they were, but it might as well have been. Like, I would just go so ratty. And I remember my hair would never be done. I'd have it like frizzy, no makeup, dressed down. And then because of what I do, people would run into me and like recognize me. And I remember one time I saw, it was these grocery store employees. They were out one night, right? Ran into them. And they come over, they say hi, we talk, and I was like, yeah, I know, mention something about the way I was dressed. And I know I go kind of crazy when I go into the grocery store. And they all looked at each other and they were like, yeah, like that, right? Like they've talked about it, okay? Like they've noticed, they talked about it, they didn't understand it. And then meanwhile, in my head, I'm like, I'm just here to get groceries and go home, right? Like, and I remember dragging my feet around the store. I just didn't feel good, really. Then I tried going to the grocery store dressed up. Completely different experience. I was in a better mood. I would definitely, more people would speak to me when I was at the grocery store. And sometimes I know you don't want that. You're like, please, nobody talk to me. Nobody acknowledge me. I'm not a people person. And I get that. But overall, just to feel good for yourself, dress up. Wear that outfit that you've been wanting to wear for no reason. Like, don't have those dresses in your closet that you're not going to wear, or you're going to wait until like, a gala night. No, honey, I'm wearing whatever I feel like wearing. If I feel like dressing up, I'm wearing it. And sometimes I know you've run into those people who go, oh, you're like, wow, you're overdressed, or I didn't know we were dressing up. You ever been around people like that? Listen, they are projecting on you, just so you know, okay? They did not feel good enough or take the time to dress themselves up, and seeing you all dressed up and looking good makes them feel bad about themselves. And I've had girlfriends be like, oh, I was going to dress up, but I know we were just going to do something casual. And I always tell them, no. Don't do that for me. Don't do that for anyone else. You wear the outfit you really wanted to wear, because you know that that's going to make you be in the best mood, right? So never dress down for anybody, all right? Don't believe that. No matter how it makes them feel, they need to work on that for themselves. Wear your outfit and wear those shoes. For example, even this one woman, she said, my aunt passed away at the age of 41. She said she left a whole wardrobe of beautiful clothes, scarves, jewelries, all with tags on. All with tags on, because you can't take it when you go, right? You don't know when your last day is going to be. So that's also why it's so important to use your favorite things now, right? Like, don't hoard them. Don't just buy it and then have it there to look at. Use it. It's going to make you feel better. So there is a woman who says that she's a CBT therapist. She said, this is how we treat depression. The idea that you should still do the things that make you feel good, even when you don't feel good, so that you can literally feel good, right? It feeds each other, right? This is from a therapist, okay? So it has to be real. It has to be true. Another one, she said she wasted so many food items by saving them until they went bad. I think I'm guilty of that, but that's just because I was tired and didn't feel like cooking. But ultimately, the same thing, like you buy a nice cheese. Do you ever buy a nice cheese and you're like, I'm going to make a charcuterie board, right? And then you're just like, oh, I don't have the time. Or I'm just like, no, not yet. I'm going to have guests over, not yet. Then the cheese goes bad. And that was like a $15 goat cheese or a $10 brie, all right? And it's like, what are you doing here? You're wasting stuff. Use it. Again, life isn't promised. And I think that's like the biggest takeaway that I had to take from it is like, you just never know. So why are we holding on to these things and not using them, knowing that it's going to attract good energy too, from within and from the outside. Like I said, people do treat you better when you're dressed nicely. You can test this theory out. I promise. Go to the same place that you always go to. Go to the grocery store. Go to your favorite bar. Dress up and watch how different people will treat you. How much better, how much more stuff will come into your life like like that. It's just the way that it works, okay? This one woman says, I never leave my house looking crazy. She says, I light all my candles. Oh my God, that was another thing. I would buy really nice candles, like, for decorative purposes. And then like, I'd even forget that they were there. Like they would blend into the background. And I'm like, oh yeah, I have this candle that I really love. Never smell it, never use it, but it's there. And so you got to stop doing that, because then when you're done with it, you'll get another one. Just buy yourself another one. Like, that's the other thing, is that you make room for new things, and sometimes even better things that, you may have loved this, but once you use it, you found something better or found something just as good. But the point is that you continue that so that you can keep that going, and that you'll feel good. Again, you get a new candle, you're going to feel good about that. Who doesn't love a good candle? They make great gifts. I love a candle as a gift. I think they're awesome. But, again, it's a sign that you may not be doing well mentally if you are hoarding these things, or if you're not using them. Maybe it's a scarcity mindset thing that you have going on. If you grew up poor, you grew up without, you might feel like you need to hold on to these things to make them last, because if you don't, then they'll go away, right? Like the same thing with money. So those are signs that, like, that's definitely a negative thing that you got to work through and pinpoint what is it. But today, if you are hearing this podcast, go light that candle, okay? Go to your room right now, keep listening to me, and go spray your favorite perfume on yourself, and watch how much you smile. Watch how much you just feel better walking around your own home or walking outside. Try it. It works for me. I'm telling you, I no longer hoard my things. Like, I'm going to use it, and if it's gone, I'll figure out how to get it back. It's so important. Which brings me to my next subject of, it had to do with this, because same thing with clothing, with things that you own, except this one is for Gen Z. Gen Z. I got to talk to you as a millennial, as a girly who's been here a little longer on earth than you. I was reading this article that said Gen Z says that if you wear this specific type of shoe, you are officially old. It makes you look old. And I was like, what shoe could that be? Like, what shoe makes you look old? A Croc? I don't know. No, they had the nerve to say heels. Heels are a sign that you are officially old. And I cannot disagree with this more. Listen. Gen Z, you are known for being out at the club in sneakers, in low tops, in flats, okay, in flippy flops. And as a millennial, okay, I don't come from that era. I come from the era where we would wear like the highest 5-6 inch heels minimum. Okay, you started there, even if you couldn't walk in them. And mind you, I could not. All right, I was definitely the Bambi at the club. All right, but I didn't care, because when I was standing and leaning up against the wall, I looked amazing. My heels looked great. Okay, but getting to the bar, that was another story. But that was the sacrifice you kind of made, like for the whole outfit. Let me tell you something. We would be in the club wearing blazers, okay, like work blazers, okay, pencil skirts, dressed like we were for an interview. We'd be at the club with the pumps on, the platform heels. Every shoe I owned was a heel that I could not walk in. That's how committed I was to this culture, okay? Like, sacrifices were made. My feet would hurt. My ankles would give out some nights. I remember I had to have friends carry me to the car, and it wasn't because I was drinking. I literally could not hold my body up. But I still felt good about myself, and I had a time. But I have been seeing, when I go out and I'll see the girls wearing these sneakers, and I can already tell, like, that's a Gen Z look. You like to wear those baggy pants, and I do think it's cute. It works for you. It's very cute. Me, I would never be in the club with some sneakers on purpose. Like, it would have to be a complete accident. I was, when those friends invite you somewhere and you have no choice, you're already out. You're like, I was here just to eat, and now we're going out tonight. Can't go home and change. That has happened to me twice in my life, okay? Twice I may have been in the club with sneakers or flats. And then I always got to explain myself, like, look, this is what happened. I would not be in this club without my heels. I don't like it. But yeah, so the sign that you're getting old is to wear heels. And if that is my sign, call me a viejita, all right? I will be that viejita in the club with my heels, because I'm not getting rid of them. I only wear sneakers for, like, if I'm going to go traveling and I know we're going to go sightseeing, right? We're going to do a lot of walking. There's, cobblestone floors. So you know that you can't wear a heel or you will break your ankle. Like, it has to be physically impossible for me to wear these heels for me to say I'm not doing it. So you saying that, I was thinking, all right, I get it. You're not into it, Gen Z. You don't like it. You don't like the heels. Maybe it's for comfort purposes, and I don't think that that's the right attitude to have about it. Like, I don't think that's a reason. But again, it's because I'm from a different era and we had to wear heels. Like, it was a must. There was no other choice. If you were the girl in the club with tennies on, you were going to be looked at wild. You might not even be let into the club. Actually, that's not true. They always let the girls into the club. I've seen all walks of life be let into the club just because they were a female. But at the same time, couldn't be me. Wouldn't be my group, okay? So then I decided, well, oh, let me tell you. This was I forgot. So with the heels, all right, I remember one night I was wearing these like 6-inch. Do you remember, you wouldn't, Gen Z, but there are these, the thick platform heels, right? There were at least 6-inch stilettos, skinny heel, but they had a platform and they were like, they would cover your toes and they were V-shaped, all right? They were kind of bulky looking too, but the heel was thin. Those were so in, okay? When I tell you that was the heel, that was the pump every girl had to have. That was it. So I remember one night after the club, I'm wearing those heels. I can't walk in them. I do not walk in these well. And I walked out of the club and I remember like, okay, I'm out. There's nobody outside. Like, I can really just walk crazy because I don't have to try to pretend. So I did. And I noticed there was a cop outside of the club and I noticed that he was watching me. And I was like, okay, like, I look a little crazy right now because the way I'm walking, but I know it's my heels and I'm confident that like, he's gonna know, he can tell I can't walk in heels. Well, this dude waits until I get into my car. I start driving off with my girlfriend. Next thing I know, the lights go up behind me. And I'm like, what happened? Like, what's going on? I know I'm not drunk. I know that I haven't made any, wrong turns. So he pulls me over and then he goes, I pulled you over because you were walking funny. Like, you were walking like you're drunk, So he was accusing me of being drunk. And I'm like, oh my God, sir. I'm like, and I started getting an attitude because I was very like confident that it wasn't because of my drinking. I had one drink and a Red Bull that night, thankfully. And so I already knew. I was like, this guy, no way. I said, you try walking in 6-inch heels and then you tell me what you look like. So he literally has me step outside the car. This is the only time I've ever had a cop ask me to step outside the car. And I was like, thank God I was okay. But I was still so angry that I knew why he was doing this. But whatever. So he gives me a test. He does the thing with my eyes. And, he's like, all right. He's like, okay, you're fine. But he's like, I smell alcohol. And I'm like, you're lying. You smell Red Bull. That's what you smell. And you're. So I get into it with him. My whole point was I couldn't walk in the heels, so much so that this cop really thought I was drunk. But you know what? It didn't matter to me. It was worth it. It was like there was no other choice. But I want to show you some heels, girls, that you can wear that are still comfortable, okay? That they have a heel on them. They're still really nice and comfortable, and you can rock these without doing the sneakers, and you're gonna look better. You're gonna look elevated. You're gonna look classier. And it's going to elevate your outfits. Okay, so I want to start with, like, see the outfit that I'm wearing right now? This hot pink thing. It's, I love this. It's a dress, by the way. The shoes that I wore with it last time, and you're probably going to hate these, Gen Z. You're going to hate these. But I don't care. Okay, this heel right here, this skinny heel with a little, like, a square bottom, okay? They look very uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie. When I bought them, I was like, these are gonna be so hard to walk in. Like, you tie them around your legs, your ankles, and actually very comfortable. Very, very, very comfortable and super cute, feminine, not the sneaker. They don't flatten you out. Like, this is a very cute heel you can get away with and still be comfortable and still dance in. They're going to last you about 3 to 4 hours, and then you're going to have to sit down. But you know what? Get your fun in for 3 to 4 hours and then go home, okay? You shouldn't be out more than that, all right? So you always need a nude heel. And this heel for me was like comfy, nude, but still glam, sparkly, perfect, okay? And it's a block heel, okay? It's similar to your flat heel, your flat shoe. It's got some femininity to it, okay? It's got some sparkle to it. Comfortable. I last in these all night, okay? Love these. Again, they elevate your look. Can't go wrong with a block heel like this. Now, some of the girls will tell you that block heels are, how do I say, like the girls that know would not wear them. But I think that there's a purpose for them. There's a place for them. If you're at a wedding, go to a wedding and you want to last, you're going to have to last hours on the dance floor and being there. This is a good heel for that, okay? Or a strappy nude one. I have one, but I don't want to show you because they're not my, like, best pair. They're not, I need to get a new pair is what I'm saying. But a strappy one, nude, will take you anywhere, I promise you. Comfy ones, though, you got to know, though, because some of those nude ones, they look comfy. Try them out, walk in them. You will know. You'll be able to feel it. All right. You need a classic pump, okay? Again, I know this is a very skinny heel. These are Steve Madden's. He is not, you know what? I'm going to skip over that. I'll just say this. Very glam, right? You can tell this is very fancy, sparkly, beautiful, elegant. You know, it's a nice black heel. Cover your toes. I like the cover. When these kind of shoes I like because they'll cover your toes if they're not done. So you need a pair of that for those days when your toes are not ready for the public eye. Okay? Your in-between days, you need one of these, right? To save you. And again, classic black. It could be all black, have a little sparkle to it. You're going to have to get some inserts. These aren't the most comfiest, but they're so pretty. I mean, come on. You get the compliments you would get with these, like, worth it. Worth the pain, worth the suffering. There's going to be some shoes that no matter what you do, they're going to be painful. But they're better than rocking the sneaks. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're still going to do it, and that's okay. But I'm not going to partake in that. And I'm going to be considered old, and you're going to be considered not taken seriously. I don't think. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Are you having a good time wearing those sneakers? Like, I know, and that's the thing. Women will still get hit on. I get that. But who are you getting hit on by is the question when you're wearing sneakers. I'm really asking you to ask yourself, you know, I don't want the guy that's hitting on me because I'm wearing sneakers. Like, then he's going to be comfortable with me wearing sneakers and taking me places where I only wear sneakers. No, it's not happening. So I think that the way you present yourself is really important. And when you're going out, wear that heel. It feels so nice and feminine, and I just think it's a little too masculine to be doing the sneaks. And it also tells your age, which is fine. You're young. Get away with it. That's fine. I just remember being in my early 20s, and that was never a thing. Like, you just didn't do that, all right? But times have changed, and I'm okay with that. Or am I not? Doesn't sound like I am, right? There's a way around it, is all I'm saying. I didn't like being called old, though. I didn't like that. So take that back, Gen Z. I love y'all. I think y'all are great. I definitely believe in your generation, just not when it comes to the shoe game. So take it from the girl who's been around a little longer than you. Wear the heels. You'll see the difference. And let me know. Maybe wear the heels out, and then let me know in the comments how it went for you. You know, were you Bambi? You got to go through those nights. You're going to have those nights. Bring an extra pair if you can in the car. Then you can switch it up. Get the pictures with the heels, switch it up, then it doesn't matter, you know. But don't just be in the sneakers like that. I don't like that for you. I'm Brittany Gonzalez. Thanks for brunching with me. This is Brunch with Brittany. Follow me on iHeartRadio, YouTube, TikTok, every platform that you can listen to podcasts. On Spotify, I'm there too. Follow, share this episode with a friend who needs to hear this. And let me know in the comments what you think. I mean, is it a sign? Do we need to retire the heels? I don't think ever. But I would like to hear your side of it. Cheers.